Hello Pisces, welcome to your October reading. Let's go ahead and get started here. See what comes through. What is it that Pisces needs to know? Okay, we have protection. Well, it's probably, protection can come through in so many ways. You might need to protect yourself. You might need to protect your family. You might need to protect your finances, your business, whatever the case may be. And this might, there's myriad ways this could manifest. So it's not necessarily meant for you to be scared or afraid or anything like that. I think this card comes out that just says you got to be smart. You got to be really smart. You don't want to be making any stupid, big, haphazard decisions. You want to make sure that you're doing things that are ultimately in your best interest, setting really strong boundaries, making sure you're not going overboard with stuff, and just kind of really sticking to the plan as much as you can. Now, there might be some detours, that's fine, but you don't want to deviate too much. I think you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your heart, you want to protect your spirit and any other materialistic things, because maybe things might be going a little bit. And I do think the astrology this month, by the way, so we have the eclipse on the 2nd in Libra. We have Pluto stationing direct in Capricorn, and we have Jupiter stationing retrograde in Gemini. So there's a lot of transitions that are happening this month, a lot of things going in opposite directions, a lot of turnaround types of things. And this protection is going to prevent you from experiencing any loss during this time. Okay, because we're not trying to experience a loss here. We're at least trying to make sure we at least keep what we have or we gain on this, all right? So what's this one? This says learn from the past. Yeah, and I think that this is the thing, is you're being smart about it because you have gone through moments like this before. Okay, you've been here before. It seems familiar to you, and this time you're going to be able to play it right. This time, because you are protected, because you are a lot smarter than you used to be, you're a lot more experienced than you used to be, chances are you're going to be acting in a more wise type of fashion. So you're not going to be making the same mistakes that you've made. And that was really the whole point of Pluto dipping back into Capricorn. It was for our future. It was so that we could say, I'm not going to go through that cycle again. I'm not going to repeat that pattern. I'm not going to let that narrative take over my life again. I'm going to do it differently this time. You know, we learn from what we've done in the past and we start doing it differently now. And that is going to set the tone for the next era, the next 20 years when Pluto hits Aquarius. It's going to be completely different. And you seem to be completely ready for it. So what else does Pisces need to know here? Okay, the Tower, the Star, and the High Priestess. So the Tower does suggest a correction of some kind. Now it is Libra season, and we know that Libra season, there's a little bit of Scorpio in here too. Okay, we've got Venus in Scorpio, and then later on in October, we're going to have the Sun and Mercury come into Scorpio as well. And these two archetypes combined, there's a lot of elimination that happens, especially with Scorpio activation. And there's a lot of adjustment where things have to find an equilibrium, and therefore there sometimes can be loss or disruption so that things can even out and find that middle ground. The Tower could be an internal thing. Maybe there's something going on mentally or emotionally, but it could also be external where things happen very quickly and there's a disruption. And honestly, because of this protection card, I don't see you being all that highly affected by the Tower. There is a theme emerging this month where there does seem to be a really clear distinction between the people who have really done the work, who have grown and developed and evolved, and who are in a more healed place, maybe not perfectly, but more healed and more whole and complete, versus the people who are still just living a life of total chaos. All right. And that distinction, it really has been getting more and more obvious over the years, but I think it's so obvious now. And that Tower feels really separate from you because you are protected from whatever chaos this could bring. And I'm looking at this star, I'm looking at this High Priestess card. You got 3 major arcana right out of the gate, which says that October is going to be a big month for Pisces. And the star is a suggestion that everything is aligning and that things are beautiful and things are perfect, and you don't need to argue or fight against where this is going. I look at the star and I see a lot of the different facets of life, a lot of the different compartments, right? So your financial situation, your health situation, your career, your family, your relationship, your children, and all these different areas, they seem to be kind of coming together and aligning. Now, I'm not saying everything is going to be perfect or it's going to be entirely smooth, but I just don't see you getting all caught up in whatever is going on outside because you have such an aligned positioning, okay? The star, there's also a lot of hope and healing that comes through there. And maybe it's in contrast, like when you look out in the world and you see all this chaos, it actually might give you even more hope. It might give you more optimism and more faith in what could be because it's you. And I'm not saying that you're sitting there saying you're better than everyone else, because I really don't think you're doing anything like that. But it is going to be clear how grateful you are that you have gone through that deep, deep healing work. And it is the deep healing work that does protect you, because you can always elevate and transcend the nonsense, okay? Now, there might be an event that does happen to you, but even so, you're going to feel so detached from it because you know how this works now. You know that when a tower moment happens, that all it's doing is creating space for the next thing. So when something falls apart, when something crashes, when something takes a nosedive, you have to be hopeful. You have to be optimistic, because that's all you can be, because you know what's around the corner. You know that things are going to improve. You know that things are going to just upswing from there. And with the High Priestess, again, this feels deeply intuitive. It feels like psychically you know this. You know in your gut. There does seem to be a knowing with things happening this month too. It's very much when you know, you know. When you know, you know. So the Tower, no matter what, actually gives you a deeper rooted positioning within like your soul. You're actually more deeply connected, because you know things are on the right track. You are doing the right things. You are making good decisions. You are putting yourself in a position where you can succeed. And it is going to be different this time around. We've had so many towers in our life, so many, and it's going to be different this time around because you have learned from the past. Beautiful. Ace of Cups. This is what I'm saying. You know that Ace of Cups is the effect of the Tower. So we'll just let the Tower crash down, because why wouldn't you want that? All right. I'm kind of getting a feeling of exclusivity with that Four of Cups in the middle. That you are, again, the protection here and the inaccessibility here tells me that very few people have access to you. And when I say access, I don't mean you're going to be completely isolated here, okay? But what I do mean is only very close loved ones will have any knowledge of what's really going on behind closed doors. I think you're going to be quite secretive. I think there's a lot of secrecy in the chart right now, especially with Scorpio being activated. This is not a time where we are going to go out and blab our business to the world. Okay, we're not going to tell, first dates and total strangers our deepest, darkest secrets. We're not going to be out there trauma dumping. Okay, we're going to keep a lot of things to ourselves. Again, that protection mechanism. This, by the way, is not a blockage. This is not problematic in any way. This to me feels like your light is so bright and your confidence is so strong and your self-respect is so powerful that you are naturally going to be protected and being protected from anyone with any kind of malicious intent or any kind of lower energy or whatever the case may be. So you don't feel the need that you have to share all of this. You don't feel the need that you have to be so transparent and so available and so all of this. It's going to take a lot to really get to Pisces. You've got your own stuff going on. You've got your own stuff to worry about. The Tower is probably forcing you into a new direction of some kind. It's probably forcing you to integrate new things that you never really thought you'd have to integrate, especially with the Ace of Cups. Now, it doesn't mean it's not wanted. I think the Ace of Cups is very much something that you want, very much something you're excited about, and maybe something you're passionate about. It definitely makes you happy. But even so, because this is coming in, you're even that much more inaccessible because you're going to be investing more and more and more in whatever this Ace of Cups is. Now, Pisces, you seem to be completely willing to give and dedicate all you've got into this, and is all rooted in this place of hope and healing and this place of optimism and this place of all things coming together. It's like you have this purpose. You have something to do it for, or someone to do it for, maybe, right? There's something there that says, I can really give it my all now because it means something more to me now for some reason. Not that it never meant anything before, and not that you couldn't have done it before. It's just that there's kind of a flip that's switching, or a switch that's flipping, whichever way you want to phrase that. And like the tone is completely different. To me, this feels like some kind of a like you're doing something magnanimously. It feels honorable and full of dignity. And you're doing something with a sense of pride and honor, which again is one of the reasons why you're just not available to just anything. You will take the Ace of Cups because this probably aligns with your plan. And this is probably something that you are capable and willing to work toward, because there's a lot of work with that 10 of Wands. And I will tell you something, October is going to require a lot of real world work. It is not a season where we can just, let it flow, go with the flow, surrender, let the divine. We have to really show up this month. We really have to invest, give our energy, give our all, give our time. Right? The investment is what's going to cause something to grow. The Ace of Cups is going to require a significant investment, which is why with this Four of Cups, it's just there are probably going to be lots of things that come in. Probably going to be lots of people that want to talk to you. They want to be a part of what you have going on. They want to date you. They want to hire you. They want to, but it makes me feel tired even just thinking about it, because you're just going to be so drained by it. You will not be drained by the Ace of Cups. This is going to fill you with life. It's going to fill you with that vital energy. So pay attention to the things that make you go, ugh, or sigh, right? The things that just kind of, your shoulders slump a little bit, your demeanor, if your energy goes like this, it's not for you. It's got to go up. It's got to go in that higher direction. Because that's what's needed, because you're going to have to put in the work. Okay. So you have to have the passion and the fire and the dedication. And you want to make sure that you're not dedicating yourself to something that you are not holistically dedicated to. So you have to, again, coming back to protection, you have to be able to protect your time, protect your energy. Because like I said, you're already going through so much anyway with that Tower card. You're going through it. Seven of Wands, Queen of Cups, Ace of Wands. Okay. I'm really, really loving the aces, especially as we get the Tower card first. So it suggests like there is a massive pivot point very early on in October. It could be something as minimal as a conversation that changes the course of something. Okay. But whatever that is, it opens up more than one doorway. These two aces you absolutely want. This one speaks to your emotional life. This one speaks more to that spiritual drive. These are things that you wake up energized for in the morning. These are things that you get excited about. These are ideas and endeavors and people that, like I say, they just supercharge you. It makes you full of this vital energy. It brings life into you. It gives you that sense of purpose. And those absolutely are the things worth fighting for, which I see you doing here. Now, because there's such a divide with the people, and it's going to be really obvious and really clear, it doesn't mean that we're completely separate from everyone either. Now, you may try to create space between you and a lot of people. You may try to put that divide in as a protection mechanism, but I don't know that you're not going to be able to completely cut everybody off, right? You still have to go to work. You still have to interact with your clients, your family members. You still have to interact with people, your neighborhood, whatever. And I am feeling significant agitation. Now, keep in mind that Mars is going to start moving into his pre-shadow phase because he's going to retrograde this year in December. So throughout late October and November, he's moving in through his pre-shadow, which is the time before the retrograde. And we're going to really start to see Mars retrograde energies through the end of the month. Impulsivity, spontaneity, anger, people being emotional, people going from 0 to 100 real quick, and again, this is a really defensive card. I do see you having to defend yourself against specific people's ideas, people's opinions, people trying to project stuff onto you, people trying to tell you what to do, people trying to get at you. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be like under attack or anything like that, or getting harassed or anything. It just feels like there's significant demands on you, right? Or from you. They're trying to make demands on you. And I just don't think Pisces is having it. I am seeing a lot of people that normally don't get very aggressive getting aggressive. This is definitely the assertion of a boundary right here. And especially if people are trying to, hey, Pisces, like, here's this thing and here's that, and why don't you come here and why don't you do that? And I want to be, they want so much from you. And it's, like I say, your energy just completely depletes. But this kind of feels a little relentless, like they won't stop. They won't let it go. They won't whatever. And you're just going to have to me, this feels like a little bit of a Scorpio sting. I know you're Pisces. I know you're not Scorpio, but we do have Scorpio in the chart. And this would be Scorpio season, this last row, once the Sun and Mercury move into Scorpio. So we're all going to be a little bit more scorpionic, especially with Mars, the ruling planet of Scorpio, in pre-shadow. So that Mars energy is just like, it's lingering, and it is right there. It is right below the surface, and it can come out at any time. And honestly, I do think, Pisces, that you are going to have a moment at some point where you just got to push back, and you got to push back real hard. And that is, again, a protection mechanism to protect your ace endeavors, your aces, to protect your healing, to protect your hope and your optimism, to protect this alignment that you have found and the sense of purpose that you have found. And this is coming from what I like about the High Priestess with the Queen of Cups is you're still very much in this divine feminine quality, meaning you're really receptive, which is probably why the aces are like, yeah, okay, Pisces is available. So yeah, there's things coming in here. But there's kind of like the divine feminine strength. I kind of seeing tapping into that dark divine feminine a little bit as well. It doesn't matter whether you're more masculine or feminine or whatever. It's the feminine energy, the dark divine feminine that seems to be coming through. And this is very sharp edged. Okay, it's confrontational. It is a little argumentative. And I don't see you having any problem being your problem's problem. This came out, I think, in the Capricorn reading as well, where it's like someone's trying to create a problem for you. Well, you're going to not have any problem creating a problem for them. Not that you're out there trying to stir the pot, because I don't think that. I don't think you have time to go out and stir the pot. I don't think you have time to go out and create drama. This is a reaction. This is reactionary. Not even reaction. It's a response. It's a appropriate response to what's happening. It's an appropriate response to people trying to come at you or trying to get something from you or trying to inject themselves into your life in some way that is not welcome. Okay, so this is you getting out that Scorpio stinger and being like, okay, if you want to fight, we can fight. The thing is Pisces probably going to win. Pisces is probably going to win. I think Pisces, and I've said this before, is one of the most underrated zodiac signs. Like, you don't really want to mess with the Pisces. They can come on, they're usually very sweet and kind. And there's always a goodness and a lightheartedness there. There's the Jupiter rulership. But there is a very powerful side to Pisces that is always underrated. And I've seen it come out a few times. I've got a lot of Pisces in my life. My sister's Pisces rising. My brother is a Pisces. Dated a Pisces, right? I've had all this Pisces experience. There is an edge for sure. There is an edge. This is the edge, and it seems to be coming out. But again, you have something worth protecting. So of course it's going to come out. This is giving very strong mama bear, papa bear vibes. Like, no one messes with your realm. So if you got to get a little sharp, you got to get a little sharp. And there's no shame in that whatsoever. So I do see you feeling empowered. And what's funny is that does kind of reaffirmed the universe that, like, you really want these aces to work out. You really want these relationships to go well. You want these endeavors, these businesses, you want these things to go well. And anyone that tries to come in, and disrupt that, you're going to make sure they don't. And like I say, that's going to tell the universe what is and is not acceptable. You seem very in command right now. The Tower sometimes feels like it's not under our control, but in fact, it is very much under our control. That Tower is happening because you are ready to accept this new life. And the new life is a huge theme with this whole Pluto and Capricorn thing. Okay, so yeah, let's pull out the clarifiers, because I think we're going to get a lot of really cool information that comes through with this reading. So if you want to join, we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards in the comprehensive reading. And the link for that will be in the description box in the comment thread down below. So if you want to join, you are welcome. So let's take a look at the Tower. So what does Pisces need to know about this Tower card here? See, exactly, the Fool. The new beginning, of course. 5 of Cups. And the Pisces card, which is the Knight of Cups. And 2 of Swords. Strength. Oops. Okay, hold on. 4 of Swords. Beautiful Empress. More Divine Feminine. And then we have the Ace of Wands again. Justice. Not surprised, as Libra is coming in super hot, making itself known for sure. Beautiful. Seeing something in the relationship department coming through. Could be romantic, could be friendship, could be some other type of social thing going on, but certainly other people involved with that Ace of Cups. 2 of Wands, 8 of Cups. Beautiful 10 of Coins. 9 and 10 of Coins there. So you really are protecting. We have the King of Wands and the Devil. Hold on, I feel like that card really wanted to come out. Okay, 8 of Wands, beautiful. I'm glad I got that one. Knight of Coins, and last but not least, the Seven of Coins. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up, Pisces. So if you want to join, again, the link is in the description box and the comment thread down below. Thank you so much. You guys know how much I love and adore you. Have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you soon.